Hey, welcome to another exciting, epic home cinema. This one just south of Perth in Western Australia. Come on and have a look. So one thing's for sure, this room looks like nothing else compared to anywhere in the house, let alone how the room started off. This house has been around for about 15-20 years, and it was originally more of a formal space, calm, entertainment room by design, but it had some features that were getting in the way of the grand plan. Clients here, they're a couple with their beautiful little puppies, love to entertain not just themselves but also family. They've got mum, nephews and kids. So it was important for them to always focus on what sort of level of seating and range and space was going to make this work for them. The primary row of seats, luxury recliners giving it the most decadent and easy viewing and listening, or the back lounge row allows a whole range of kids to bunch up, lay down, relax and have some fun as well. So it's a great room for the whole family and the extended family as well. So after seating, we really need to have a look at what is the key goals of the space, what sort of content is going to be delivered, and we're spoiled more than ever for content. Netflix, Stan, disc format, Apple TVs, really we've got more content than ever before, which means the stuff that's important to you can actually come home. I think the best thing that we heard about after handing over this project and revisiting some weeks after is knowing that when Coldplay, the big artists, were here in Perth, the clients here missed out on tickets to Coldplay. Well, they've actually produced and created a Blu-ray disc, a full concert experience, streaming through the internet services, and they actually got to watch that Coldplay concert right here in their own home only a few weeks ago. They absolutely loved it. So going for the big sound was absolutely critical for them, and then feel the music that they so desired. And you know what? They say we didn't really feel like we missed out after all. So it's super cool knowing how much connection we get in these spaces. Let's go over a few features that make this room really awesome. This is the Nolan Concept Cinema from Rogue Home Cinema. This is a room that really aims to deliver way more than you first meets the eye, while actually giving a really spacious, intriguing, exciting feel the moment you walk through the door. Going out to the cinemas is always going to the big screen and the fun and the vibrance. So the lighting and the textures of the space really do need to feel like you're going out, away from your regular life and into something truly special. The front stage of the cinema is critical. This is where the big screen, the visual element, the only thing that really should captivate your attention when you hit play is the picture itself. Here we've got over 135 inches of beautiful projection screen with an acoustic transparency material which allows speakers behind the screen to project through, so when you see the voice, you hear the voice from the same location. That creates that whole immersion and that believing in the unbelievable for the listener. Something that a big TV can't do is captivating and coupling the sound and the picture together, which is something which we absolutely love. Plus, when the screen gets so big, it kind of squashes the speakers out the way. So if they're not behind the screen, then we end up in trouble. But just like a commercial cinema, we have the speakers right there. Powering up the stereo and the dialogue, the critical sound components are the Ascendo 6P speakers, the German manufacturer who's designed from the ground up an immersive audio experience with speakers that are slim yet so powerful, so we can fit them inside a regular residential home, but giving us this huge scale, spaciousness with detail that we expect and need from today's top quality audio formats. Below the screen here, we have the equipment rack or the equipment cabinetry storage. Here we've got Blu-ray players, PlayStations, Apple TVs, subwoofers, the all-important AV receiver. This is the power plant of the project. This is a Denon unit. I must say we're really excited about what Denon's been delivering in the way of performance and value for money. The Nolan concept here, this cinema room is all about squeezing more power, more output, more immersion for the least budget possible. So going this all-in-one Denon has been absolutely remarkable. We've got some off-board amplifiers to run some super low profile subwoofers so we can hide the speakers in the room. In fact, really the speakers are almost invisible, even though some of them are actually partially in the room, but thanks to the decor, the black finishes, and the tone and the lighting, this room is completely immersive, visually, atmospherically, and audio. So we've got so much power, so much clarity, so much information sonically from the front of the room that is going to flow through the space, not just directly to the seats, but also bouncing off the walls. A contained room is actually quite chaotic for sound. Then we go adding 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 speakers into the mix, and that can become a big problem. The great news is that the soundtracks are designed for certain locations and geometries for these sorts of spaces, and with a little bit of basic acoustical control, which are the surfaces and materials of the room, we can actually get beautiful clarity and that big spaciousness that usually only a massive cinema room once performed. The textures we have through the room here are actually controlling the reflections of the sound to make sure you don't get any distracting sort of echo effects that shouldn't be in the soundtrack, shouldn't be in your head. Acoustics are not just for the side of the room, but also above to stop the ceiling bounce, and also the back of the room, we've got some acoustical control as well. These panels have been custom designed to be a cost-effective but extremely high-performance solution, cut in a way that's given us this nice flow and bold ambience to the room, something that actually has a level of power but balance and elegance at the same time. Surround sound has been out for a little while, but not always well implemented. Here we've got the surround pillar technique of the Nolan cinema. This design allows us to get the all-important surround speakers right down into the right location, just behind the listeners, just above the listeners, giving us this marvelous effect. At the same time, in the Aussie-built rooms, WA rooms of solid brick, getting cables into the spaces, into these areas are really tricky. Here we've got the surround pillar, which allows us to integrate cabling all the way up and over through the roof, into the speaker, hardwired for maximal performance, while we have the RGB lighting giving us some ambience and flair. In the meantime, we've custom installed a Control 4 lighting controller here, which actually can control the entire system. So when it's time to wrap up, we can turn off the lights, or a double tap can shut the whole system down, ready for when you come back next to it. The only way to gain the real big screen is to push well over 100 inches. We're talking 130, 140 inches in most cinema rooms these days, just to get that middle of a real commercial cinema feeling. That means projection is the way to go. And with projection, it allows us those special screens to also project and fire sound back at us. Now the issue with projectors often is they can add a lot of noise and heat into the room. A cinema room, a great cinema room, is a quiet cinema room, shutting down noise from the outdoors, controlling temperature and airflow, and that can put a real load on a room with equipment heat and projection systems. So here we have a custom projection box which does a number of things. One, it contains and removes the heat from the projector into the ceiling above. Number two, it actually contains the noise from the projector and keeps that away from the listeners. We want to maximize the performance. We want to use all the power out of the amp, all the power out of the projection system, and to do that, it means the fans are going to boot in. So we really need these custom boxes to maintain the integrity of the sound and noise and isolation of the cinema. In this room, we've chose the Epson laser projection system, which also gives us an amazing lens shift capability. all in one box, all in one solution. We can hit a button to expand the screen to super widescreen, while for watching documentaries and TVs, the image moves back down to the TV size and shape. Phenomenal value for a unit under $10,000 Aussie, and with laser power, this projector is going to serve for a really long time. Overhead, there's a lot going on. We've got acoustic control panels, the all-important lighting. This is a custom product as well, the Eclipse lighting strip by Rogue. The issues we've had with a lot of downlights is it doesn't matter how far we dim them down, there's still just too much light in the room. So rather, these little micro high performance 1 watt narrow beam lights maintain just the right amount of light just over the seats, avoiding any pollution and distraction onto the screen or into the room. Additional shadow edges created from the acoustic panels means that we can hide more color feature lighting, adding that real wow factor when you walk in the room, and even a great little addition while watching music concerts and listening to music in this room. You've got a sense of ambience and wonder where you really get to jump into the story from the way of music, create your own story as you go. This room features 5 speakers around the room. We've got 3 behind the screen, 2 surrounds. We then have 2 subwoofers, front, center, and rear. And then we have 4 more speakers in the room. These go into the height layer and utilized by the Dolby Atmos technology. These speakers are critically angled, positioned, and pitched towards the primary listening seats, giving you an immersion which was unheard of just 10 years ago. So these rooms are perfectly dedicated, combined, isolated from the rest of the house. That means that airflow is going to be a drama. Either a split system, which circulates the air in the room and cools it down, gets the right temperature may be required, with some understanding that fresh air is going to be needed for the room as well. In this home, we've had a ducted system that we modified into position to make sure that the cold airflow did not interfere with the projection beam, while also delivering cool air pushing into the room. These systems actually need to remove air out as well. So a sealed up room means we need to remove air out, and the projection system is where we've got some exhaust systems removing air out of the room to help with the heat load of the entire room, not just the projector itself. There's a lot going on in these rooms, and with the professionally designed and planned process, the results certainly follow. Now, the clients here didn't choose to learn about acoustics and electronic componentry and get out the rulers and all those sorts of things. So I believe that this certainly hit the mark for them. And importantly, as we wrap up and hand over, they need to have confidence and control on all of these systems. We've got here the Control4 smart remote control automation system. That means utilization of the room is an absolute breeze. Simply choose what you want to watch. The room will follow. Hit play, relax, and enjoy. Thanks for checking out the tour. We've had an amazing time with this project. Everyone's a little bit different. So these rooms really are a creation from the client. We're just here to help facilitate the vision and dreams. So we're really honored to be part of it. For more inspiration and education, check out our YouTube, our Facebook, our social media, and our website for more information from our design, services, and products are available. For now, I think this one needs a little bit more testing and to take a moment and actually get a bit more immersed myself. I'll see you next time.